It will be all eyes on the European Central Bank this week. Expectations are high that the ECB could respond to persistently low inflation and further ease monetary policy. Sarah and Peter are joining me to discuss the week ahead. Hello. Sarah, we're going to hear from the ECB on Thursday. What are you expecting?
It seems like we can expect easing measures and maybe lots of easing measures. There have been so many ECB council members out and saying there could be packages of easing. They hinted at maybe some liquidity measure, and it seems like a negative deposit rate is already baked in.
So we're going to see a wide range of measures, but do you think we're going to see some form of QE?
Well, QE has been widely debated, but it seems like it's pretty unlikely at this point, but you can never rule anything out, really. Yves Mesh said earlier this month that they could introduce a broader range of instruments that, quote, might even strike the most fertile imagination. So whatever that includes.
I mean, one thing I'd like to point out, Morgan Stanley did a survey today and they surveyed their investors, and they came out with 53% of them expecting some form of QE by the end of the year. Maybe not this week, next week, but by the end of the year.
But they could be starting to lay the groundwork for something later in the year.
But it seems like markets are already expecting some kind of easing. So if Draghi refrains from doing something again, the euro would rally, markets would fall. It'll probably be a totally different scenario.
So the risk this week is for disappointment, that they haven't gone far enough. And we are getting some data next week which will feed into this whole debate around the European economy and what the ECB needs to do. What should we be looking out for?
We've got on Tuesday, we've got Eurozone inflation. We've already had figures out from Spain and Italy today, which disappointed. So the expectations are for yet more a low inflation environment next week, maybe even below the 0.7% that was generally expected before today's figures.
And anything coming on the growth side? Have we got the final PMIs?
We have some PMIs, we also have unemployment data, and we have some GDP, the second estimate as well. So it's going to be a really, really busy week.
Very busy week in Europe. In contrast, the UK, probably less eventful. What's happening there?
The UK, the Bank of England, they're extremely unlikely to do anything on Thursday. However, what might be interesting is how the minutes that come out as a result of their discussions. There were the first signs in the May minutes that perhaps the members were starting to diverge of opinion about when they start to hike. It'll be interesting to see what the minutes...
So no action, but maybe some more debate about action. Over in the US, important data as well. We've got payrolls after a very, very strong month last month. What's the expectation there?
Well, I'm seeing expectations for another strong month, not like the almost 300,000 we saw last month, but around like 200, 250 maybe. So we're definitely seeing the unemployment rate unemployed people come down a bit, and also just seeing the labour market improve.
Well, we'll need a strong figure as well, because the first quarter revised GDP figure from the States was disappointing. Weather related, obviously, but
absolutely. So looking for more signs of that bounce back from the very long cold winter.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me.